This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the ITintheD show.
We are number one!
Where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Who's number one? We are! Who's number two? Who gives a
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Tries. To hell with this. I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show. So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
We're the number one station in town.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to ITintheD. All you nerds out there.
Nerds? Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
You gotta look out for number one, but don't step at number two.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. The ITintheD show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
We are number one!
This is Robert Hayes, the Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the ITintheD show. It's worse than Detroit.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do. Ludicrous speed! Sir, hadn't you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome, and you are listening to the number one ranked technology podcast on SoundCloud. This is the ITintheD show. Did I mention we're the number one ranked technology podcast on SoundCloud?
Yes, you did, and I need to go buy new mics now.
Why? I know, slow clap. This is episode 129 of the ITintheD show, and we are broadcasting live from Podcast Detroit here in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Give us a like on the Facebook. Follow us on the Twitter, and thank you for leaving iTunes reviews. And if you could do more, we would be ever so grateful. If you're an Apple user, find us on iTunes, leave us a review. Even if it's only 1 star and you say the meatball sandwich is horrible, we don't care. Do us a favor real quick. Mark your calendars. February 18th, we're going to have a social at the Hellman Corner in Royal Oak. Nothing but good IT folks, good conversation. Pay your own tab, no speakers, no sponsors, no cover charge. And March 10th is going to come up quick, Dave. We need to talk about it. But our biannual Pink Slip Party is going to be held at the Majestic.
Again.
Over 150 hiring managers, over 1,000 people in attendance. It is the job fair of all job fairs. And DJ Nuri will be in the house.
What kind of job fair has a DJ? I mean,
a great DJ.
Thanks.
We wouldn't have brought you back if you sucked.
It's kind of the modus operandi of our show.
Right. But hey, before we dive in and talk about how we're the number one technology podcast ranked on SoundCloud, since we've been having Yomicon on and we've been having the
Midwest Media Expo.
We got a phone call and we got a new friend of the program.
Yay!
And if you don't know who Crunchyroll is, you need to find out. If you have Netflix and if you're an anime fan, Crunchyroll is in essence the Netflix of anime. There's over 25,000 titles. Literally, if it comes out in Japan, Crunchyroll will have it the next day. it has every single one of the classics that I grew up on, right? Because Akira, like Battle of the Planets, like all the stuff that I used to love and grow up on. But the new stuff, like One Piece, Naruto, Gundam, Fairy Tail, Gate, they have literally every single episode streamed in 1080p across Xbox, PlayStation, Wii U, Roku, Android, iOS, Roku, Apple. I mean, literally, Crunchyroll is everywhere. So if you are an anime fan, do us a favor, check them out. They're awesome. Crunchyroll.com/ITintheD, and you get a free 30-day trial period.
Don't need a discount code. No coupon code. No coupon code.
We have we're in the URL. Woo. Yeah, I know. I had to work for that one.
It just blows my mind thinking about how an episode will air in Japan 1 hour later, totally edited, no ads, 1080p, streaming directly on Crunchyroll. That's crazy. Which means there's probably some guy sitting there waiting for the episode to air. And then adds and
capturing it as it comes.
100%. Edits it up, makes it ready to go for here in the U.S.
Coming from a guy that just spent his entire Sunday binge watching Making a Murderer, if I get a hold of this, I mean, if I get just a hold of like Gundam, like which is like one of my favorite, like the old Voltron and all that, I'm infatuated with that stuff, the old Johnny Sacco stuff. Like this will ruin my weekends for months to come. I can't wait. But yeah, check them out, crunchyroll.com/ITintheD. Dave, did I mention we're the #1 ranked podcast on SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Technology.
I think.
Did I beat that one in the ground? Did I bury that one?
We're the niche within the niche within the niche. We are the #1 best-selling author in life, sciences, living, tech. Yeah. We're
on the Chicago Tribune's bestseller list.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, come on. When I told you were happier than a kid on Christmas.
I thought I was going to cry. I'm not going to lie. It does not happen often. I was completely and totally speechless.
The Academy.
I literally had nothing. I had nothing to say.
The Fine Brothers.
I sat exactly. I sat there. You called me, and all I did was laugh for like 5 minutes because I could not coherently put words together. I just sat there and laughed. So yes, it was the #1 technology pie, and laughably, the one with Ashley Gold as our guest. Not necessarily our heaviest tech episode. Not necessarily.
Our best episodes are always it's for some weird reason.
It does seem to work out that way. But
speaking of great guests, we got a packed studio as always. We got the whole team here from Creative Breakthrough CBI. They've been here once before. That we're going to get a little deeper in with them. We got John Biscow here, who's the EVP of Security Strategy. We're going to dive into get into all things IT security. Marcus is here. They're one of the recruiting guys. And we got Matt Thompson in the house, friend of the program, always hangs out at our events. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And we also got Mike here from the Great Lakes Comic Con. We love comic book shows. We're fans of all of them. We're going to be hanging out at this one in person, and we'll be talking all things Great Lakes Comic Con with Mike. So appreciate making the trip from Romeo. What are you doing down here? What a drive.
It's quite a long drive, actually.
Appreciate it, though.
Wasn't bad. Worth the trip.
We definitely appreciate it. So this has been a weird week.
Yeah, my in-laws live in K-Pac, so I'm
That's
familiar.
right next door.
As I say, I'm familiar with that drive.
Can we? I know it's a little bit late, but can we have a moment of silence for the Java browser plugin?
Yeah,
it's finally been put to bed and bullet in the head and buried out in the yard next to the Ask.com toolbar. I'm really gonna miss those pop-ups, Nuri. Every what is it, 13 hours?
There's a new version of Java.
Yeah,
every 13 hours.
I'm thinking like between iTunes and Adobe Reader. Like, do you really need another like every 3 months?
And Flash.
And Flash.
It was the Java plugin. Java plugin, Flash.
I kind of knew it was going to die once Chrome took it out. When Chrome stopped loading it, I'm like, okay, this is Java's death march, and it happened. Now, if we can just kill that Flash browser, anything Flash, we'd be good.
And the S.com toolbar.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Toolbar. Every
time you updated Java, 1 out of every 8 times you let it slip and download it on accident.
Next.
Oh, shit. Exactly.
Why are web pages slow? Because I have the toolbar.
Oh, that's the best one. My father used to always go, "Hey, my computer running slow. Can you come over to the house?" He doesn't talk with that.
He's not Vlad the Impaler from all the Dracula movies.
No. And then they go there, and he's got like I swear to God, 14 toolbars. Like, I don't even know they still made Real Player. How'd you get the toolbar? Like, what in the world did you do to your computer?
Hey, before I forget, we do one more shout out that I want to give. Our friends from Nerd Life Productions are hooking up with Activate downstairs. They are doing the nerdy, flirty speed dating thing next Saturday, the 13th. I believe tickets are only $10. They're online. We'll have the link in there later. But it should be a fun thing. Apparently, the first one was so-so, kicking the tires, seeing what goes on. This is their second attempt. We'll see how it goes.
Can't wait to not go.
Hear the story. Well, we'll be at the Dirty Show.
Right. Oh, that's right.
We're broadcasting live from, well, not we personally, but Podcast Detroit will be at the Dirty Show, and we may or may not be sitting at the tables talking and commentating.
Oh, boy.
Be better than wrestling commentary.
It will. Absolutely will. So what is going on? So technology is great, and I love it, until when homeless people get a hold of it. Where's this going? I just pulled a Mitch. Did I just pull a Mitch album?
Yes, you did.
So imagine you're in the streets of Detroit, and a guy comes up to you and says, "Do you have any change, mister?" You're like, "No, sorry, don't have change."
And you pull the stereotypical, Bill Murray Groundhog Day, almost the Macarena move. No, I have no change yet.
And then he pulls out an iPhone and says, "Hey, I got a
square reader." Yeah,
I thought you would go Bitcoin. You wanted to?
No. There's a guy down in Detroit that's got a square reader and he's homeless. And he came out and they did an article on him, and he said that's his business is being homeless. He's got a Patreon account apparently, and collects donations on a WordPress site. And I'm like, this has gone, like, homeless has gone high tech. I guess I appreciate the guy's hustle.
And the hustle's good, but I'm just thinking about being in traffic, pissed off, waiting for the guy to pass the square back and forth. It's like, right here, sign, $200, not $20, or it's like, I don't know.
Email me a receipt.
All right, and then he makes more money signing up for every spam account, known to mankind, and every spam site. Yeah, absolutely. Sells your email address.
He's been homeless for 7 years. That's what the article said.
Been holding out for a management position, maybe, Cousin Eddie?
It's happened before.
If he pulled out a square reader, I think I'd give him $20 just out of principle.
Yeah, me too. I'd find change.
Yeah. So, I think it was the worst story of the week, or your favorite is the
DeLorean coming back.
No, you're not going to buy a DeLorean anyway.
Have you met me?
Yeah. You can buy one now. Why would you buy a new one if you could buy one now? Our friend that. Another rest in peace, the guy on I-75 in the Lodge.
Oh, yeah, the one that did his own version of The Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, I was watching Die Hard on his phone, and may or may not have his pants around his ankle.
No, there's no may or may not. The man was thrown from his car. So for those who don't know, and how could you not at this point, apparently a gentleman was driving his 96 Toyota, which might actually be the saddest part of the story. And when he got to 75 in the Lodge, apparently he got off at the wrong spot and slammed into the abutment. And flew out of he was hurled from the car and he died. And while death is a tragic thing, there are the Darwin Awards prove that there are certain sets of circumstances that it's okay to mock, and that just is how it is. Mourners have been asked to leave boxes of tissues at the memorial where the location of the accident happened. Like I said, and my whole thing is I want to file a Freedom of Information Act. I want to know what porn the man was watching on his phone that was so out there, like it was so
bang bus.
It had to be something. Well, either that or he was just so drunk he thought his automatic was a stick shift. Who knew? My whole thing was, the big concern was, well, was he racing anyone? No, he was just trying to beat himself home.
Winwood, stop.
Try the veal.
Here all night. Thank you.
Thank you. Try the veal. Don't forget to tip the hardest working wait staff in town. But no, I mean,
somebody's dead. Like, how do you go to your dad? Like, it's the saddest day of your life. Your father died. He's like, God damn it, Dad.
I wish I think I should have delivered the eulogy. I think that would have made things a little bit easier.
Really enjoy the movie Die Hard. Figures it's how you would go.
I've got this mental picture of I've been trying to, ever since I read the article, I've been reproducing it in my head. I'm like, this guy with some shitty sweatpants down around his ankle. Is he holding his phone? Is it on a mount on his windshield? No one will ever know.
Exactly. Does he have the little suction cup mount that that he's
Yes, he
watching the
does.
porn on? Because I mean, like that's I do. I want to know. I want to know.
Inquiring mind
the
wants to
truth
know.
is out there because the X-Files is back. I want to believe.
Well,
I want to know what he was watching.
The best part is the stupid Free Press. God, no wonder why newspapers are dead. They put the stock photo up and they were right about the.
Oh, the guy with the 1992 flip phone.
A clam phone. It's like, what is he? Did he die watching ASCII porn? What the hell?
I think that's a boob, or is that an asterisk? I can't tell.
Right. It's a parentheses underscore asterisk underscore.
Dude, that's a nice ass.
So actually, we talked briefly about Crunchyroll, and we mentioned PenguinCon and some of the other places that we go. One story that I'm actually kind of keeping an eye on, because I've had this debate with people online and offline before, where the whole is cosplay covered by copyright is going to the Supreme Court now. So, there's that whole – we actually talked about this last year when people got all up in arms at San Diego Comic-Con because cosplayers were charging people to get photos taken with them. And my whole point all along was, like, you realize that I get it. It's a passion of yours, and that's awesome. But you're basically a walking copyright infringement. Like, you did not make that character. You did not create that intellectual property. Yeah, you've gone off and built a sweet-ass costume, but it's not yours, Skippy.
What's the difference between that and Halloween?
Well, see, it's not just cosplay, right? So it could be, think about how many clothing manufacturors kind of
that do the quick and easy knockoffs and that kind of stuff.
Copyright has not really applied to costumes now. They talk about it being a creative work, or a utility. There's a bunch of statues that involve.
So you're going to pull up the Vanilla Ice defense though and go, no, it's not a. It's done. Right? Like it's a Halo costume, but I have a red, white, and blue flag on my back of my helmet. It's not Halo. Like it's stupid.
But what happens though if someone copyrights the cut, color, and pattern of an outfit?
Right.
So it's no longer parody. It's no longer.
Then you do C-3PO with the red arm. I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
well, but that's been done now. But you won't recognize. It's like Clark Kent with the glasses.
Right.
You won't recognize him with the glasses. You won't recognize.
Who's that Green Arrow, not the regular Arrow?
What is that?
Yeah. With the annoying, whiny British voice. That's, yeah.
Do tribute bands have to pay royalties?
The whole Metallica thing.
We talked about that last week. Apparently, apparently Metallica's lawyer shot off like a 47-page C&D to a Metallica cover / tribute band in Canada.
Only 15 years into their cover band.
Right. Yeah, they've been doing it for 15 years, and finally, I guess, like the story went immensely viral. And what's the guy's name? Hadwell.
Jim
Hatfield.
That guy, McCoy, whatever his name is. Reached out and was like, "Hey, our lawyer's an ass. I'm sorry."
Right.
You forget that ever happened.
Napster back.
Isn't this like the 1,500th time that Metallica sued somebody though about something?
It started with Napster and it's been downhill ever since.
Like it seems like Lars is always suing somebody for something.
The Kiss took their makeup off, mass hysteria. So, like, we got the security guys in here. We'd be remiss if we didn't start talking about some of the crazy data securities. Neri, you shot a couple notes this week about like the whole baby monitor thing.
Dude, think about
it's getting scary as all hell.
I mean, consumer devices typically have really shitty security, right? And people don't think about putting a good password on them, things like that. And just imagine if, like, you logged in one night to your baby monitor and heard a stranger talking to your baby.
Well, and so that was a big thing. This is actually one of the things we didn't get to last week, was that there is a search engine on the dark web that basically is just to find sleeping babies.
That's disgusting.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I mean, that's literally. I mean, that's what it ends. I mean, like that's that entire engine. That's what it does.
Like, here's the thing: if you're gonna troll, right? I love a good troll if you do it right. But like, dude, talking to like stay-at-home mothers on baby monitors, there's a special place in hell for you. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. And then having a website for like, what are you gonna look at? Like, you can't Google baby. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're looking at me like I'm going to defend it. I got
When you see shit like that, I shake my head. Like, what? What else can you not think of, or can someone think of? It's it couldn't be any worse than Lenovo's backdoor password.
Oh, was it password?
No, it was
the combination of my luggage.
Yes, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh.
That was the built-in default password to every Wi-Fi network attached to a Lenovo device.
And what's funny is that they didn't apologize in their statement, but they said that they would now start to follow industry standards for protecting people. Gee effing thanks, Lenovo.
Right, because, that's everything about
the
you.
The problem is, and correct me, like, Nuri, we were talking last week, they made me lock my phone down.
Yes, the corporate policies.
Corporate policy,
right,
lock my phone down. I also had to lock down my DX80 on my desktop. Sometimes they're public, and I keep telling them home base. It doesn't matter. But you had to go from a 4-digit key to a 6 because it changes it from 10,000 to 1 million options, right? So now when I have to open my phone, like I have 6 numbers. I forget half the time also. And it's just like, I get it. I want to be secure, but like...
You don't just do like month, day, year.
No.
I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, that was you can't repeat numbers and you can't go in succession. Like,
so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
4 corners.
Right.
Something no one could ever guess, like your anniversary or anything.
8675309. Yeah, exactly.
So from a Darwin Award perspective, so we've had some weird weather here in Michigan this year. I mean, it's been, we have not. I just heard, like, if you eliminated that one snowstorm that we had, we would have had something like 1.3 inches of snow so far this year. So and it hasn't been that cold. It was nice.
It was like 50 degrees today.
It was 50 degrees. So
I didn't need a jacket. Yeah.
Riddle me this. How is it that not 1, not 2, not 4, not 5, 6 cars had to be rescued because they drove out on Lake St. Clair on ice that was not solid and fell through. And 6 cars worth of people had to be rescued. How effing retarded do you have to be?
Dave, you're talking to a guy we had a cottage on the lake in the Thumb, and we may or may not have driven on the water every winter my entire childhood.
No. I understand. I grew up in New Hampshire. I understand driving on ice.
It's only 2 square miles. It's not like it's...
Yeah, but I understand driving on ice.
There's water there?
Yeah, exactly. The whole state still has 1 area code.
Oh, it's crazy.
But I understand driving on it. But when the weather's been like this, how do you not know?
It hasn't been below freezing in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
right?
How do you not know that it's not a real stable, secure, normal thing for you to be doing?
You tap it a few times, and then you kick it once or twice, and you walk out a little bit.
So we're talking about driving on the ice, not your dating life.
That was my test. Tap it.
It could be worse. You could be Washington, D.C. They have the worst snowstorm in the history of mankind.
29 inches.
It's still second to the one that hit the year I moved out here.
Guess what they did that weekend? Instead of helping people, they issued $1 million worth of parking tickets that weekend. You know what? If you don't, I'd move. I thought City Detroit was bad in issuing parking tickets. Are they high?
But, okay, so having lived there, and I lived there during back in 96, the year I was moving out here, we got something like 24 inches of snow and 4 inches of ice inside of 20 hours. The whole city shut down for about a month, and it was the same kind of thing. But you have to understand, so the news and media doesn't react to stuff there like it does here. When they knew that storm was coming, I will virtually guarantee you that all of the media outlets for days ahead of time said, look, remember, don't park on the streets. Don't park on the snow removal routes. Don't do this. Don't do that. For days. And then it hit, and they kept warning people. And then people just said, I'm leaving my car there anyway. And then they got snowed in because they're dumb. And so then they get parking tickets. That's how that goes.
How do you even find the parking ticket under the 29 inches of snow?
They were showing videos of cars that were completely buried.
I was there Thursday. I had to fly in for work, and I could not believe these cars were going anywhere. I was like, why are people still off from school, off from work? Now I know why. Their cars were completely buried under the snowplow buried them in. Digging them out.
When the snowstorm hit in 96, literally the entire city was shut down. I was snowed in a friend's house. Could not get out for 5 days because the cars were snowed in.
I live in an HOA. My wife has a garage. I have the street. And you'll never see me jump any faster in my life than when I hear the snowplows running, because I know if they bury my car, I get out. Right. So I got to go run around the block or go to Tim Hortons, get coffee, and then back, and then my street's plowed, and I'm like, Jesus, But I'll run out in socks and slippers. Dave, I got a dumb question for you. I love a good conspiracy theory. I like all of them.
Yes, you do.
Even if they're not true, I still think it's funny to talk about it. Like, the whole we didn't land on the moon thing. They're funny to me. I found out the dumbest one I've ever read, and that people are actually thinking they're true, and they're trying to convince people it's true, is that the Earth is flat right now.
Yeah, thanks, rap community.
When did that even come? When did that even start again?
Apparently, some rapper.
Because I've been really high in an airplane once, and it was always at eye level.
And he's got pictures like going, where's the curve?
You've been deceived, Bob.
Where's the curve?
You've been indoctrinated into a heliocentric belief system, Bob.
Wait, but hold on. Where's the end? Because I've flown to Japan. I've flown to Germany. Where's the end?
Don't make me release a diss track on you.
I went that way to Japan. No, I went left.
I've gone left. I've gone right.
Yeah.
I never encountered the "Here There Be Dragon" sign.
Right. Like the end was like the Pacific Ocean. Then fine, I would have went right to go to Japan.
Right. No, I went in Hawaii.
And I didn't go underneath.
No.
How deep is it? Because we drill for water and oil and shit. Like, how flat is it?
Dude, I don't. Again, you're looking at me like you want me to defend this. I don't get it. Because you do. You have to say, okay, because if you believe the Earth is flat, then you also have to believe the moon landing conspiracy, because you have to believe that we do not have people up in space that have sent back videos and photos of exactly how round the Earth was.
Maybe he saw Superman 2. That made sense. Like.
Was that the one with Richard Pryor?
No, with Zod, they were trapped in the flat mirror.
Oh, the flat, gotcha, yeah.
Like the moon is
the
like
phantom zone.
Right, thank you.
And I love Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he totally got involved, and he's like, no, here's the science behind it. And
but why did he argue for a week? If you think, because he won't argue with climate change deniers because the science has been proven, but he argued for a week on this one. It's like, why'd you even go there? Like,
he wanted a diss track, actually.
Wanted to get in the press. Well,
he's coming to Michigan, actually, in March. I got tickets, so it's super good. Yeah. Anyway.
See you there.
Your tickets are probably better.
He doesn't do Rocket Man, so we're not going.
I know. I'm still mad at you, Shatner.
All right, well, hey, we are bouncing up against a break, so we should do that. Take about 8 minutes, then we'll be back with our guests. Life will be good.
We'll be back with the CBI team. This is the ITintheD show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Snyder from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland. Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com. This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 2. This is episode 129 of the IT in the D show, and we are broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us out online, ITintheD.com, because we are IT in the D, and you...
Still not.
Thanks for playing, though. have a shot at Johnny Walker, if you don't mind. Inside joke. Sorry. You're not supposed to do that on podcast. I read. Sorry. Not sorry. But hey, we have the company's been here twice, but this is the second time or third time you guys have been around. We have the whole team here from CBI, otherwise known as Creative Breakthroughs. If you're not familiar with them, they are. They've been in the security world probably longer than any networking company.
25 plus years.
25 years, longer than probably anyone I've seen doing cabling, going back to the old Sequoia days. I mean, Creative Breakthrough has been the de facto security company time. But we have John Bieskow here, who's the EVP of Security Strategy. We've got Marcus here from Recruiting, going to talk about their academy. And Matt Thompson's in the house. I don't know if you're going to say anything or not.
No, probably not.
He's the entourage. He's the entourage tonight.
He's the entourage. You're not allowed, entourage are not allowed to drink on the show, so you got to give that back.
Bring the posse.
Oh, wait, that's a joke at my expense.
So, John, I mean, we've talked to security gurus before. We've had Wolfgang on.
We've done the guru then.
Yeah, we've had Dan Lorman from the state of Michigan, the old CISO, and I know the answer, but I want to hear it from you. Is there any perfect way to look at security?
No, of course not. If it was, then we'd go out of business.
As a softball.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anytime.
No, not at all. I mean, it's getting more and more complicated. It's getting more and more difficult, and the good thing that from our perspective is more and more companies are waking up to it. More and more companies are giving us a call. More and more companies are realizing that just putting up the perimeter isn't good enough. They're realizing that that great little consumer product that they're making is now, as you guys were talking about earlier with the baby monitors, that's the way of getting in. Anything and everything in your environment could be that gateway into your personal information. So.
Mr. Apple Watch over here,
Yeah. Get the Bluetooth on? Yeah. Awesome.
We both have Nest.
My laptop.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you look at it from the percentage of hacking, like from Russian hackers or Chinese hackers, versus the social aspect, I think it's worse with the social aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you train everyone in the company to not let someone follow you in the building, to not plug in Ethernet with the logoed shirt on?
Right.
People aren't going to be police.
No, you're not. You want to be polite. We're a very polite society, right?
Sure.
So you want to be as helpful as you can. And
we don't like conflict.
We don't like conflict. Yeah, we don't want to be. We want to be that
Facebook
guy to say no. You can't come in, you jerk. You gotta carry your own stuff.
On Facebook, we would block the hell out of them, but in person, totally.
No, but you imagine you're walking in the building, someone's walking in, going, "Whoa, hold the door!" and you pull it shut like an asshole in the elevator, and it's like, well, that guy could have been your boss's friend, and he could have been a hacker. I don't know. Well, you can ask for credentials now. What I'm saying is it's a slippery slope, right? When you're dealing with that stuff.
Oh, it is absolutely. I had some newer security analysts at the gig before CBI, and we had just gone through an audit where we were just about to have an audit. I can't remember which one it was, but we'd always gotten written up for tailgating, holding the door open for people. And one time they recognized this guy was walking through the building, didn't recognize him, so they stopped him and said, "I'm sorry, I can't let you in." They're actually going to try to do the right thing. They were on my security staff, so they were kind of attuned to it. Didn't realize it was the CEO of the company. Hadn't been there long, told him, "I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back to the front desk." He said, "No. Everybody else, you're going to send them back to the front desk. You're going to let me in." He may have dropped an F-bomb or two.
Exactly. That's your security working, right?
Yeah, well, he said they came back to their desk and were freaking out. And so I pulled up the intranet and said, "Was it this guy with the picture and the big frame?" Yeah. Pack your box. You're probably done.
Yeah. Did he make it?
They made it. Oh, yeah. They actually, I got a call later on with the guy saying, "I really appreciate what you're doing. That's great. I'm glad you're trying to raise the awareness and all. But next time, remember this face."
Right.
The guy to stop.
Yeah, make sure the name on the paycheck, you're aware of the face that goes with. Yeah.
Don't you know who I am?
I think he may have actually used those lines at one point. Yeah.
But we had some great conversations. What conference we were at, Dave, where we were talking about the guy that was...
Oh, B-Sides.
Oh, B-Sides. That's right. He literally wore a polo, said you were company's IT guy.
Yeah.
That's all it
was.
said.
Was your great? Yeah. Was it blue? Had you like the dark blue?
Right, exactly. Looks like a
khakis.
Chalk. Right. And just plugging in, I'm just going to be in the data center. No, I'll be here for a little bit. Everyone had questioned me. I'm and again, and he walks out there with a laptop and
It's tough. It really is tough. You try to raise the awareness. You try to get, put good controls and procedures and whatnot in place. But it is rough. We want to be helpful, right? We want to be, you want to be that guy that stops it. We had this thing. It was down. I need to have the guy come in, and I couldn't tell if he was real or not real. But
I'm sorry. I'm a pure witness to exactly what you're saying. At my previous job, the heating guy walked in the building, had heating and whatever, talked to the CEO, talked to me, talked to 5 other people. We all left for the day. He was working on the heating, walked out with 5 laptops, 2 tablets. We caught him on camera, everything. We showed the police, so we're not going to find him. I don't know where to find this guy.
Ocean's 11 ruined it for everybody, I swear.
Right. So we just clip it on there.
Totally.
I have video.
Totally. I'm just going to dress up as the FBI and I'm going to walk right in.
Right.
But you look at, we're talking about making me do a 6-key password. That's got to be probably the worst infraction is the people putting password as password or dumb passwords.
Right.
I mean, how do you enforce that to billing and accounting?
Well, so here's what I just learned, and this made me laugh. So it had to go through the 30-day password cycle at work. You got to change
30 days. Oh God!
It's got to be complex. It's got to be one capital letter, at least one special character, number, So, but and it pays attention kind of to what the structure is, but as long as you change the first letter, you can use the exact same string for the rest of it.
So your password is assword 1 2 3.
Well, you got to strike that balance, right? You got to strike the balance between having it be secure and having it be easy. Because if you don't make it easy, they're going to write it down. They're going to have it on the laptop. The CEO's going to have it on the laptop. Then your $1 billion
passwords.
Well, I've had the same password since HP in 06.
Right.
Which is a wicked good password.
Right. Compact 123, is that?
Absolutely. A with the ash with the ampersand. But like every time I got to change a password, I just add or subtract the whatever the number sequence is.
Right.
I've been running with that now, it's 2016. But I mean, but it's not a word though. It's a crazy good like. But I wouldn't be able to type another password if my life depended on it because this thing's so entrenched in my brain.
Right. Like I say, it's tough. You make them change it more often. The 30-day thing is crazy. But I'm not going to judge your company, but it just seems way too often, way too frequent. You're just pushing people to writing it down. That's what you're doing.
Well, and it is. I mean, it is that weird balance because is it? It's not even necessarily the password, or things like that. It's I'm just going to work on this at home, so I'm emailing this spreadsheet with all of our customer data to my Gmail account,
right.
So I can work on it on my home laptop. That's the kind of stuff that's where all these breaches come from.
That's the stuff that makes me cringe, for sure. Because you're just poking holes. You put the best perimeter security in place, you get everything done right, and then you get the user who decides to do. Again, they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be that go-getter, and I'm going to work from home this weekend and get this stuff done. And now I've just sent all of our secret formula stuff
3
out
words,
the window. Yeah.
digital loss protection.
Right. Yep.
But there isn't an IT guy alive that hasn't done a terabyte drive backup, and I quit tomorrow.
Right.
There is an IT guy alive that hasn't done that.
Right.
Yeah, I've got so many 12 gig PSTs it'd make your head spin.
Well, but not only that, it was and then you've got to worry about not just your own infrastructure, but the whole outsourcing thing that goes on. One of the stories we didn't get to in the first segment is I want to make sure I get this right. It was WePro employees that it was the UK company TalkTalk.
Yeah.
And just like they had outsourced some of their stuff to WePro, and they just decided to go ahead and take it and put it on the black market.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think I saw they lost 250,000 customers in 1 quarter or something along those lines.
That'll do it.
You don't usually see that with data loss.
Because 3 guys decided to go ahead and get cute. Yeah.
Well, I spent, before joining CBI about 2 years ago, I spent quite a bit of time as a CISO at a bank, and more of my job was moving towards doing review. It wasn't somebody. Obviously, we were doing infrastructure and making sure everything on our side was tight, but in the financial space, we've been doing that for quite a long time. I started moving more and more of my focus looking at third parties, looking at the WePros. Mm-hmm. We weren't a WePro customer, but looking at, we had credit card processors, we had bank processors, we had all, the HR systems, whatever. That's all outsourced. Mm-hmm. So you got to spend more and more of your time looking at what their security posture looks like. I kind of giggle when people say, we want to have bank security. It's like, well, that's great. You probably don't, because it's probably going to put a chokehold on your infrastructure.
Just unplug everything.
See, the one thing that drives me nuts is Google does it. A lot of companies do it, but like for credit card processing, they don't. Is adding 2-factor.
Right.
We all have a mobile attached.
2-factor.
Right. I do too. I'm using it for pretty much every web login from a different device or whatever. Yep. But swiping a credit card, why can't you have a text sent to your phone? Is society moving that fast where they won't allow it? I'll wait 5 minutes extra in Meijer if I get a text on my phone and type.
But will you wait 35 minutes at Meijer extra because there's 7 people in front of you?
No.
There you go.
Well, they do it, right? It's secured by MasterCard, actually, for electronic transactions over the internet. But for 2-factor for a point of sale, I don't see how that.
Well, because Amex did that. They still do it, but the whole one-time card number.
Apple Pay does that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to make
tokenization with the chip and pin. I don't want to get really deep into that kind of stuff. But that's covering the point of sale actual transaction. But I agree with you. Having that second factor for everything else is it's a beautiful thing. And the social media in particular, where they're not getting on board your web-based email accounts, where they still only use password. That's where a lot of the big breaches, like the iPhoto stuff, it wasn't Apple so much that got hacked. It was that their email account got hacked.
Yeah.
And once you have the email account, everyone does password reset through email, right? So hey, send my new password to my email account that's been nicked, and now I'm.
Oh God, wasn't it the? I think we may or may not have talked about this last week. The guy who basically exposed that the biggest phishing scam known to man, or the phishing source known to mankind, was Amazon's customer service. He got this weird, email notification about a purchase, and he like hopped into Amazon's customer service, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's like, I just wanted to check on a recent purchase that I made."
They were getting info from Whois records.
Well, yeah, so they got like his locate, they got his location, and but it's like basically it was him. So he had a conversation with an Amazon customer service rep who gave him the logs of the conversation that someone else had with an Amazon customer service rep who was pretending to be him and had like just enough information from a public Whois record to be close enough to match, and they had like turned over his passwords and everything and reset his account and everything. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah, and the thing with that was they wouldn't give him, like, he was trying to ask for like the last two numbers of something.
Yeah,
it's the last four, and they're like, no, last four. How about the last two?
Right. But they wouldn't cave. Like, he tried so hard. But you think about the phone calls you get, and at what, it's really hard to say, eat my ass when it could be someone that's legitimately asking these questions. Like, someone called me and said, like, this is so and so. I never heard of the company. Like, they want to know, like, what's your address? Like, what? You just called me,
right?
And apparently it was a bill collector for like $16 at a hospital thing I didn't pay for. Whatever.
Right.
Regardless, they're asking me some. Like, I don't know who the hell you are. Like, you're a bill collector? Like,
well, the amount of, like, personally identifiable information on the internet about you. I mean, we had that story about the voter records, right? You go look up voter records. If you're registered to vote in any state, you can pretty much find out your address, your date of birth. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden you got your date of birth, right? So you could use that to reset things. It's just like, that just scares the shit out of me.
The fake IRS got me pretty good over the summer. Oh my God.
Is that their website? Fake IRS?
No, it was
.gov.com.
Everyone apparently from the IRS.
No, it's it's .com.co. That's the one that always gets found.
One time when I was drunk. Never let that one down.
Yeah.
The ones that worry me are the fake Microsoft, the inbound calls to my parents, my grandparents, whatever. And they how are they going to know? They're not going to know.
I've got one. It's sending out a virus.
I got two. And then I trolled her for maybe
that's fun
20 minutes. It was a great, And what did I do at the end? What does it say on your computer? As it goes, there's 3 words on it, really large. It's like suck my ass. Click. Then I get a phone call, and 3 minutes later, going, "Why are you mad to my sales representative? They're just trying to help you." They're not trying to help me. I go, wait,
the page changed. Now it says GFY.
Right. So I got nothing going. It was during my lunch. I'm like, oh God, this is great.
I just mess with them for a little while.
I'd kill a good half hour with this.
It's good show material too. So I'm talking to this guy as long as I can.
Well, but so that is one of the things that unfortunately there aren't a whole lot of people out there in the market that get it, that know it, that kind of know how to think in that direction. So I know one of the things that CBI has going on is the CBI Academy.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about what you got going on with that and how people can get engaged.
Well, our CBI Academy is our way of trying to replenish the security talent in the marketplace. You pop online, you see all the stories out there about how there's so many job openings, the number of vacancies and security positions are growing to exponential levels or whatever. But at least when I was hiring, the thing that always kind of got me was we're always looking for experience, right? You're always looking for 5 years of experience. Well, where are you going to get 5 years of security experience as you're just coming out of school? Or how are you going to get 5 years of security experience?
Have to have experience to get the job, have to have the job to get experience, have to have them.
Right. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get guys or get people 5 years of experience in 2 years. So we're bringing groups into our CBI Academy. We're putting them through a 12-week boot camp. And then they're on a 2-year contract with us. And we're rotating them through a number of different aspects of security, looking at assessments, we're looking at consulting skills. We're training them up on a couple of our vendor technologies. And then we get them out in the marketplace. We actually get them working with customers, helping them balance IT risk and business risk, finding that right solution to keep their organizations safe and secure.
Now, do they need any sort of background in terms of A+? They need to be computer savvy? Or are they coming
computer savvy? We're looking hard at the universities and colleges. We're looking for guys that are coming out of there with some sort of either networking background, infrastructure background, security background. If you spend some time on the help desk, if you didn't go to college, right? You spend some time on the help desk, you've been working in as a junior network engineer, whatever. Yeah, that's the kind of experience that we're looking for. Someone who's got that kind of security mind, that really inquisitive mind that really wants to figure out how these things working.
So how many applicants are you getting to this?
God, it blew up. Marcus, how many did we go through for the January class?
Tons and tons. We brought right around 60 people in for interviews after we deciphered who can come in, who just can't make the cut. And out of those 60 people, we selected 10. And 10 got hired in January for CBI Academy. And
Academy 3. Academy 4 we'll be looking to fill that up probably for a June start date, and then we'll do Academy 5 in September. Again, somewhere between 10 and 15 for each of those classes, and we'll probably have a big turnout again for our Academy days. We bring them in for face-to-face interviews.
So how many resumes you get to get to that 60?
Oh, probably a little over 300. I think last time I looked, so our database fills up pretty quickly. I do a little recruiting here and there because I not only want the younger talent who has the IT background and just really passionate trying to get into security, but I want some people who also know what they're talking about as well, like grabbing some folks who have the background working at a hospital, network security, or anything like that.
It's just like pure consultants too, right?
Exactly.
I mean, people who've already been in the industry, know how it works.
Yep. A little bit. So, and we've also just brought in a dedicated recruiter to join with Marcus. It's going to really focus on the campus side of things, so we can really start to build those relationships at the universities. Going up there, offering some of our time. Going in and doing some guest lecturing, going in and working with their cyber clubs and giving a talk on what are the topics, some of the B-sides type talks that you guys see. So we're hoping for a big turnout again for Academy 4.
So other than the security standpoint, what else is CBI looking for, if anything? You said you're bringing in a full-time recruiter. Are there other gigs, other roles you guys are looking to fill here in the area?
We're always looking to talk to people, whether it's some of our current open positions. We've got practice leads, we've got some engineering openings, we've got sales openings. I'm looking for some strategists, both here in this market and in the Chicagoland market.
We don't talk about those.
No, we don't talk about that.
IT in the
Here in the Detroit area, sorry, it's IT in the D, not IT in the C.
Right.
Well,
and speaking of that, so you guys just relocated your office headquarters downtown.
Yep, we split.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it's going great. We got engineering here in Ferndale, and then we moved sales, marketing, the exec team downtown Detroit. It's great. Just the whole vibe downtown is so energetic. I'm really, really excited to be down there. We're right smack dab in the middle of everything off of Library.
I keep seeing the pictures from Matt's Facebook feed. It looks like a sweet spot.
Yeah, it's great. It's
pretty awesome.
Wish it was a little warmer, but a little warm up here in the spring. We'll be right close to Comerica Park, so that'll be exciting. I'm sure we'll have business meetings there.
I was down there Saturday night having drinks, and I'm like, holy shit, it's those guys. They're coming to our show next week. I'm
Big,
like,
gigantic logo with the
It's an amazing sign. It looks pretty cool at night.
Yeah, we're really hoping that Hudson's site doesn't get built up too tall, because we're going to have a clear shot to Woodward from where we're at.
We'll have to get a bigger sign.
No, but I'm seeing a lot of collaboration. There's a lot of cool companies doing cool things downtown, between like Grand Circus doing the code academies, and we're trying to get ramped up with the CompTIA and the Cisco
Detroit Labs with their apprentice program.
Labs as well. That's right. We're trying to launch a for Cisco and for CompTIA. So I think if you get everyone kind of talking and working together, I think nothing but good things can happen, especially with they need talent in this town. That's the one big thing we keep hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my passions, side projects is working and getting into the high schools, in elementary school, and kind of raising security awareness, talking about cyberbullying and some of those things. So now we've moved downtown. I'm working on a project this quarter to build out some new materials where we can go in and kind of spread a little bit of that side of things and talking to some of the younger age groups, give them some ammunition to things we're looking out for. They're all excited to get their phones and get on Facebook and the MySpace. Is that still a thing? I can't remember.
I think it's coming back.
Is that coming back? Yeah, great.
That and Friendster. That's our
Friendster, right?
Yeah.
So just give them some of the basics, right? It's great. You want to get that Facebook account going, but do you really know how to lock that thing down? Do you really know how to set the privacy on that? You really need to do some of these things. So we're working on that as well. We'll be working with the local schools in Detroit and in the outer markets as well.
Yep. Yeah, the whole hour of code thing. I got both of the schools that my kids go to enrolled in that heavy.
Yeah,
that's a big just to get the basics. It's not even not deep.
No, I'm not going to teach you how to hack. I'm going to teach you how to protect yourself. Right.
Then they'll learn how to hack on their own.
Right. Exactly.
They did what we did.
Yeah, exactly. Defense fundamentals, then learn offense.
Right.
But hey, we can find you guys CBIHome.com.
CBIHome.com. Yep.
The Academy information, all that stuff's there.
Yep. /Academy.
And then change your password.
Absolutely. Underwear. Like your underwear.
And we got Wolf's podcast floating around on the
that's right.
on SoundCloud and on the site. So
is he like 7 a.m? Is it one of those podcasts?
No, it's syndicated right now.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. But Wolf's one of their engineers. If you want to talk security,
kind of a god of security too. Yes, it's well known.
I call him the mad scientist.
He's one of their level 1 security guys. Just kidding.
I'm going to get an angry email.
I came in through Academy.
You know who I am.
Remember the face. Tell him to keep his tags consistent on his podcast. That's
But hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Mike from the Great Lakes Comic Con. Check these guys out, Creative Breakthroughs, CBIHome.com.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk more in segment 4.
Absolutely. This is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
Is there any worse song in the world than the Mortal Kombat techno song? I appreciate it, Dave. Welcome back. This is segment 3.
All right, next week's going to be all Debbie Gibson and Tiffany, just to prove you wrong.
Of course it will. This is segment 3 of episode 129 of the IT and the D show. Dave, did I mention we're the number 1 ranked technology podcast on SoundCloud? Just wanted to point that out again.
We're number 1. Every time you say that, I hit slow clap. So it's
he was so happy, and now he's like mocking me.
No, dude, that was insane. I'm not gonna lie, I still don't get it, but it is what it is. Well, as with everything we do, we will ride this emmer effer until the wheels fall off.
Exactly. But like I said, this is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. We're broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. Find us online, ITintheD.com. We actually have launched are we launching it or is it launched? A watch tab. We're starting to do some, we do a little 5-minute video snippets before the show. We've been kicking and screaming, saying no, but they're making us do it anyway.
Still faces for radio.
Precisely. But we're at least at the bar with a Pabst in our hand, and we're doing little recaps, and hopefully it'll add to the show.
You know how we need to have him open those with the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. You know, and here we find them in their natural habitat. No? Okay.
Yeah, no. Mike, I always feel bad for the guest for segment 3 because it's like, you know, especially when you're running a comic book show and you got to listen to a bunch of guys talk security geek out. But you braved it and you did not run out of the studio. We appreciate it, Mike. Mike's here from Great Lakes Comic Con, which is coming up, and we had
last weekend of the month, right?
Yeah, end of February, 26th and 27th. It's a Friday and a Saturday. We do a preview night on Friday and then a full day on Saturday.
So opposed to I'm just saying it's at Macomb Community College, right?
Correct, yep. Macomb
Not
Community
the one on Hall
College.
Road.
No, South Campus. 12 Mile Sports and Expo Center.
It's my alma mater, 12 Mile High.
Awesome.
I'm proud alumnus.
Yeah, we call it the Sports and Expo Center. There you go.
Yeah, we
have a different word we use, different phrase.
Right.
We refer to the Comic Con there at Macomb Community College.
Right.
So for those, so what kind of Comic Con is this? If there's anything the last few years have taught me, it's that there are many, many different kinds of Comic Cons that are out there.
Right. Well, it's tough because I believe it or not, we're trying to make our own brand with this. We really are. Our goal is to focus on solely comic books and toys and not pop culture.
Okay.
Which I know makes it difficult because pop culture is what usually brings thousands of people through the door. We've been doing very well. It's been growing every year.
You have Sergeant Slaughter coming as a guest.
But hey, he was a G.I. Joe character in the comic book.
Yes, he was.
And that's the connection. That's the connection.
I have been hoisted on my own petard.
And that was tough. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Sergeant Slaughter. Back in the 80s, I was into the whole wrestling thing, as I'm learning many of us were here at the table, you know, Hulk Hogan and all those good guys. But yeah, it was tough at first. Once we made the connection, it's our first real, I guess, celebrity guest, because typically we pull people from the industry. You know, we have Mike Zeck coming, Pat Broderick. Not sure if you guys are aware of these names, but they're pretty big in the industry. Previous shows, we've had Chris Claremont. Just think X-Men, Days of Future Past, that kind of thing, the movies. Yep. Now he's nodding. There you go. Right. But Jim Steranko, another one very well known in the industry. So we've always kind of gone with picking pretty high caliber guests for the comic industry.
Okay.
But when you do it that way, we feel it sets up a high caliber show, but obviously we're missing out on large segments of groups who...
It's putting yourself in a niche.
Yeah, exactly. So the decision was made, okay, let's try Sergeant Slaughter, but does that kind of go against our business plan of just comic books and toys? We're like, hey, there's a Sergeant Slaughter action figure. There you go.
We can
He was in
rationalize
G.I.
this.
Joe. There you go. He was in the comic book. I mean, I can connect it any way we can make it work. But anyway, so that's kind of what drew us.
That was
to
the doll you had to have when you were a kid. Was the refrigerator Perry and the Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe dolls? You had those two. You were money.
You were all set. All set. So I'm going to say we're trying to do a different branding on it. We come from the premise of, I mean, there's lots of comic book shows out there these days. Yeah. More now. I mean, we've been doing this since 2010, and I almost feel like when we started, there weren't that many. But since then, it's like everyone seems to be every weekend.
Oh, there's at least one going on every weekend now.
Yes, what we're trying to do, and I say trying because I think we're getting success with it. As I said, the show has been growing to where, which I guess is good because we're trying to play catch up with the growth. It's growing, and we're trying to say, okay, how do we handle this now? It's been a challenge every year.
We're a little familiar with that.
Yeah, so there you go. And in a positive way, too. I mean, we've been able to do it well enough that, I mean, people, they like what we're doing. And as far as I say, the branding or the image, if you will, this is how I explain it to people, when I first come across them. People call it, I even used the word comic book show just a minute ago. I try not to use that to refer to what we're doing. We use the word event. We feel that people go to see a show. An event is something you experience. And so we get this thing of where we want you to come and experience what we have to offer. And I think our programming, it's similar in some ways to many other comic book events and shows in the area. But we try to go a little further. Our shows are kid-friendly, family-oriented. We say bring the kids because there's anything, I don't know how you guys all grew up with things like this, but I remember when I was a kid, I don't remember this exactly, but I'm sure I learned how to reading Spider-Man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
These shows didn't exist. We had to go to Comics Corner.
There you go. I still go there. Look at that.
Well, there's one on 12 and
the Ben Franklin or the 7-Eleven.
There you go.
Quick Pick was my first experience.
Yeah, there you go. 7-Eleven, got a spinner rack.
Yeah, right.
But that's the experience we always had. And I always go back to the thing of, it was kids like me, you, who are all into this stuff. Whereas these days, it's almost like lost the kid aspect. It's adult. Whether you're looking at the price of the comic book or just, hey, I want that comic. Oh, well, it's $50. What kid's going to be able to afford that kind of thing? And so from that angle, trying to make it more kid-friendly, family-oriented with the programming, we have, kids coloring contests, kids costume contests. And not to throw out the adults either. We've got our cosplay things and things that most shows have. But just this idea of something to experience. It's almost like, watching baseball on TV. Anyone can watch baseball on TV. Why do you go to Tiger Stadium? For the experience. Yeah. And so that's the way we're trying to present this, and so far it seems to be working for us. So when people say, like, how are we different from XYZ Comic-Con or other ones out there? There are overlaps. We are very similar, and obviously we're a Comic-Con. But we're trying to do it to where it's different. It's a different experience when you come to the Great Lakes show versus going to, ABC XYZ Comic-Con.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, a lot of Comic-Cons these days aren't really comic cons anymore.
They're pop culture.
They're pop culture, flea markets.
Yeah, they're kind of like nerd malls is basically what they're into.
Should I be offended by that?
I hate saying that. I go to some of these shows.
The fact that I have to ask,
Let's count the pop.
That'll bring us through the door.
Let's play count the pop figures. That should be a contest. If you can guess how many pop figures are in this place at one time right now, you win a car.
Some jelly beans are in the jar. And I will tell you, it's something where it's almost like they're vetted. I mean, when people want to be a vendor at our show, the bottom line is, do you have comic books and toys? If not, we don't want you. And I shouldn't say it that way. We're very loving, very caring. We don't say get out of here, but we do turn people away. I mean, I had a vendor a few weeks back who wanted, and it was security places. Like you go and you pay your money and you have your little security. Like a safe, I'm trying to think of what they're called.
Safety deposit box?
No. But you get those storage facilities.
Oh, gotcha.
And their angle was, well, hey, they can store their comic books in our storage facility. And I said, that's not good enough. And so we have turned people away. People who want to do even home improvement things, which once again, nothing wrong with that, but we don't really have that at the show. The only times we do have that kind of stuff is if you're a sponsor. Sponsors now, we have Specs Howard is one of our sponsors.
Nice.
Okay. And mostly for, as you know, broadcast and things of that nature. We've got Xfinity, Comcast, who's been with us pretty much from the start as a sponsor. And Power Home Group's the one we have this time, too, which is construction. But the idea is they're paying a sponsorship fee. And then they're able to come to the show and participate.
It helps you do what you need to do.
There you go.
We're familiar with
that's
the
why
concept
we have
of needing sponsors.
Sergeant Slaughter's only coming in because we were able to get sponsorships. I mean, really, that's how you pull that stuff off. But we do run four events every year. The Comic-Con in February is the largest of what we do at Macomb Community College. The other ones, we call them Comic Expos, which goes back to our roots, basically. We started in 2010 at a VFW hall with 24 tables. Small gathering, very intimate. So
I was just at one of those shows over the weekend, actually.
Yeah, and we're trying not to lose touch with that, so we still offer those July, September, and December.
How many tables have you grown to now at your big show?
Oh, wow. The big one now, we have over 100, which for us is big. 100 spots, includes artists, vendors, things of that nature. We do have the pop collectors there, as you just mentioned, some of the pops and stuff. A lot of local artists will be there.
I got 25, 30 of them. I'm not going to.
There you go. Yeah, But I think there's something for everybody. There really is. I mean, especially with this year's show. And one more thing we do. I don't have my talking point list in front of me. We do theme the shows. This year is
inside jokes.
1980s. Trying to help out as best I can. We have a 1980s theme for this show. And so we have a classic arcade will be on site. So you can come in, free play arcade, come in and play the games. We've got Big Toys from Sterling Heights helping out with that one.
Nice.
I've already mentioned Sergeant Slaughter. That's kind of like our 80s celebrity, if you will, coming in from that. We've got...
be walking around calling everyone maggot.
We tell the story when
we put you in a headlock too. You catch your taken headlock.
We met Jim Duggan at Motor City.
Oh, cool!
And he's talking like real man, like, "Hey guys, nice to meet you. How's everything going?" And then you're like, "Hey, can you do a show ID for us?" He's like, "Yeah, sure thing." And he just goes right to
record. It was like a light switch.
Hey folks, excellent! Just like, this guy's a pro. Like I imagine most of those guys have been doing this so long that it just they flip the switch and it's they turn it on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so like I said, for the 80s theme, we've got Ghostbusters Coalition's coming out.
We know those guys.
Yes, 501st, as you know, our Star Wars friends are coming out to the show.
We know
as
those
well.
guys.
So there we go. But yeah, I mean, it's something, we've got face painting for the kids. We've got a balloon sculptor, which is really cool. He'll make, like a
we know
6
that
foot
guy.
Tall. Yeah, you know him too. It looks just like Batman, but out of balloons, I mean, who knew?
That guy's so awesome.
But it's really cool. It's really cool.
No, very cool. So, how many people are you expecting? He's about 100 tables. How many people are you expecting to show up and attend?
I always expect millions, but what happens is your expectations have to be high. As I said, we've doubled every year. The first time we did the show at Macomb, it was, I think we had just under 1,000. The next year there was 2. I mean, we had over 5,000 in last year.
Nice.
Which for us, it's growing. My expectation, I don't want to say it in case I have to eat my words, but actually I'm very positive. I really am. The buzz seems to be out there. I mean, you guys heard about it, so hey, we must be making it
word of mouth.
now. But I mean that seriously. I mean, I'm getting calls from people for interviews, appearances, things like that they want to learn more about the event. So I'm excited.
So, and you said it was, there's a preview thing Friday, and then the full show Saturday.
Right.
What's that delta?
Well, what we do is a lot of shows do like a Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that kind of thing. My opinion is I don't want to have it be multiple days until it has to be multiple days. In other words, we're bursting at the seams with people coming through the door.
And you cannot make it through to see.
Yeah, really. And so my philosophy is, let's say you're going to get 10,000 people. Well, bring them all on Saturday. I mean, why have Friday, Saturday, Sunday with 3,000 each? I mean, just kind of from that perspective. But Friday preview night, we give prizes away, and that's something else. We're trying to do something a little different than the other shows. We give significant prizes away. As an example, Deadpool's the big character right now.
Oh, yeah.
It comes out in a couple of weeks. The first appearance, anywhere from, let's just average it about $400 or $500. We're giving that comic away on Saturday night. So every paid admission comes through, you get a chance to win. Friday night, we're giving it's about a $200 to $300 value, the first appearance of Venom. We started this out years ago. We started giving away like key Silver Age comics, like the first appearance of the Silver Surfer, early Spider-Man. And people, of course, respond well to that because, they come, as I said, experience the event, and here's a chance to win something. And so that's something else we've prided ourselves on, is that we have just significant prizes. So the preview night, basically, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday night. It gives people a chance to get in there and check things out, and then we've got the prize drawing at 8:30. Then Saturday we do the grand prize, which is at the end of the day on Saturday.
So and then what are the hours on Saturday?
10 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Okay.
Admission is $10 a day, or both days for $15.
Just nothing these days.
Super cheap.
It's very reasonable, and that's something else. We don't charge for parking. We don't.
That was my next question. Yeah.
It's something to where, as a collector, which I am, I felt things I see at different comic events. What would I do if I did my own comic show? And that's kind of where I'm coming from with this. No pay for parking, and I think it's very reasonable. And not only reasonable, but you have chances to win prizes. I mean, if you come in and buy a 2-day pass. This has never happened, but you could win the Friday and the Saturday prize. Because once you win Friday, we put your name back in the hat for Saturday. So that's something else that I don't think other shows are doing right now.
No, by and large, no. Mm-hmm. So Friday, Saturday. So I guess other than, like we talked about, Sergeant Slaughter, I mean, so from a...
Like artists.
Well, yeah, I mean, so just from a, like we do, I mean, we know quite a few, do you have, an artist alley? I mean, that's
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that a lot of the shows are starting to push back into the back corner, if not get away from completely.
Well, what we do is, picture your square. That's our facility. It's in the shape of a square. Each corner has something different. So one corner are the video games and the Ghostbusters. Another corner, we actually have a large set of bleachers where we do all our prize drawings. Another corner is where you can find gaming. I didn't mention this. We have gaming at the event as well.
Okay.
Magic, which I hate to admit this, I'm not that into that. It's just something we bring into the show.
Should not and be totally into it.
We have a Magic card tournament. One of our vendors comes in and runs that tournament for us. But we also have board games. We have a group called the Grand Gaming Academy, which
are making a big resurgence now.
And so, yeah, exactly. And they'll come and once again, kid friendly, family oriented. Games are always, kid friendly. And they're dice games. I mean, they have different games they're presenting at each one. They'll teach you how to play it. They'll show you how to, get involved. So I tell people, bring the kids out. We've got a coloring contest, and you can learn some games, which kids, actually all ages get into that kind of stuff. The only thing we kind of avoid is we don't want it to be like a babysitting situation where, hey, kids play the games well, Dad goes look for comics. So please stay with your child. We also have panels. Another big one, too. We keep mentioning Sergeant Slaughter, but the first guest I got on board for this was last July. And let's see how much your 80s knowledge is, prevalent here.
Challenge accepted.
Larry Kenny.
I know that name. He's a voice actor.
He's a voice actor. Can I play it on my phone?
He's the voice of Lion-O.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Dave did not go to Google.
You killed it for me because I was going to play something for you. And
Please do. Go ahead.
Really, I get the sound.
Do it.
Now, what's funny is my wife is listening as we're doing this. So let's see. I've got the app on my phone. Let's see if it works. I'm sorry, that's my geek moment. Anyway,
he's slashing his phone back and forth like a sword.
Yep, it actually smashed the microphone. Must see that on there.
Have drop right for show.
But that was you talk about. Oh my God, yes, geek and nerd. I'm telling you, when Larry Kenny said he'd be happy to come, I was just. Oh, I was so happy.
The key difference between like the we all know the bigger show.
And for the record, screw me for knowing that off the top of my head.
I figure you were cheating and went to the site.
I mean, how could you not?
Everyone knows the bigger show, but I think the smaller show that's a little bit different is everything's accessible.
I agree. You're not sitting in line for 2 hours.
And everyone's autographs is $60
unless people show up.
Right,
is the plan.
Right, but I like the smaller. Right. It's more of an you get to actually chat with folks and you get to actually hang out. It's not fronts to butts for 100 yards. It's
And something else, and I don't know how the other shows operate, but we actually negotiate with people. Sergeant Slaughter had a certain price tag for a signature, and we negotiated it down because we explained, and he was on board. We went through his agent and everything that it's not the bigger show. You can come in and he's charging $20 for a signature on a comic book, which, believe it or not, I think he's normally $40 or $50 on a signature, and that's important to know. Toys, different price, but for comics, he said he got that price. But that's something we try to do, and maybe other shows are doing that as well. I don't know, but that's something else. When we know someone's coming, we find out what it is you charge, what is it you expect, and then we say, okay, well, here's where we're coming from. It's a Friday, Saturday. We explain our size, what's going on. We'd still love to have you. Which is always fun to try to convince people to come to Michigan in February.
But we're very mild February.
Yes. One expression was it's colder than Hoth here. I thought that was interesting. I know it was 2 years ago, but yeah, another one I got, which he wouldn't come. He said it's like going to Florida during hurricane season. Why would I come to Michigan in February? I said, I understand. No, but we do our best to bring some guests in. And as I said, we've had some pretty high caliber people the last few years, primarily from the industry. And that's another one of our goals is to have like an A-list person, basically. Which would be your Jim Steranko, it would be your Mike Zack, Pat Broderick, that kind of thing. And we also have some local people, too, who worked in the business back in the 80s and 90s. If you're familiar with Keith Pollard, Arvell Jones, Bill Messner-Loebs. Those are, well-known names if you're into comic books and into, the stories and such. But they're local guys, and they're at the shows, and we get their support all the time as well.
Nice. So you said you've grown 50% year over year, and I've run a convention for 2 years, and
I'm not a math guy, so it might not be exactly that.
Well, still you're doubling.
It has.
Huge. So you're actually growing 100% every year. I think the biggest growth you ever had was like 25 or 30%. What do you think it is that makes you so successful in growing 100% every year? What are you doing that's so attractive to people?
We've actually tried to tackle that question because obviously if you had the answer, you just focus on that and keep doing it.
You bottle it and sell it everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
And the interesting thing is we just look at the package of what we're doing that we just feel it's working for us. Yeah, hit there. I saw that. Our design, our plan. I got to be careful with the words I'm using here, but it's working, and so we're just trying not to change what we're doing.
Yeah, just don't screw up.
Like,
don't mess with the formula.
anything.
Don't screw with the formula. No new Coke.
Right.
No, it's the old IT joke. It's the AS400 in the coat closet with a 10 meg Ethernet hub running it.
Yeah, what the hell are you running everything off that for? Because it does.
It hasn't broke.
Exactly. If it does, if the lights are still blinking, life's good. Leave it alone.
Look at it.
but really, beyond that, I mean, I really, if I were to isolate it just to one thing, I really do feel it's the kid-friendly, family-oriented. The fact that that's what I think keeps the comic book industry going. You get kids in, when they get into it at that age, I think they stick with it.
Well,
and
if you look at
the
movies, my God, we're going to have
Disney and Marvel movies
coming out of our assholes for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Between DC, Marvel, and
you say that
comic.
like a bad thing.
No,
you're right.
I mean, Star Wars. No, because we're going to be forced to see every single one of them, and they're all going to outdo each other.
We're not going to be forced to.
Yeah,
we're just going to.
Yeah.
let's
we
be
watch
honest.
Star Wars for the fourth time. Okay, it hurts.
Right. I've only seen it twice so far, but yeah, I'm due for one more time.
It's on DVD next month. Right?
What?
No, early April.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
Stop.
Blu-ray.
Huh?
Crazy.
He's never 14 minutes of extra footage.
Oh, taking that carrot out there.
Well, because they have to, because Rogue One's coming out in Christmas again, so the hype machine's got to start.
Start rolling again. So, how do people get tickets?
Oh, right off our website. So you can go to GreatLakesComicCon.org, O-R-G on that one, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is actually Great Lakes Comic Expo. It's the Facebook page. We started that years ago when we were just the Expo, and it's grown. We kept that. There's links all over the place.
Because God knows Facebook makes it so easy to change your page name.
That's exactly what they're doing. So, but yeah, I mean, tickets, you can buy them online, and I would push that as well, because last year we did online ticket sales as well as general admission. Online, we took you right to the front of the line. You get in the facility. General admission, you kind of wait your turn. So there's an incentive. Buy the tickets online, and you got a dedicated line that you can just go in, and we scan it with the phone, and boom, you're right in.
So now I can't believe I almost forgot to ask, is there an after party anywhere? Is there or do you guys just kind of let things happen as they may?
For now, there is not. Private parties.
I believe will be
private parties, but can't disclose because we got to take care of these people as they're in town for the weekend. But no, I think that's more of a thing if you're doing a Friday, Saturday show, because the shows typically end at like 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. It gives you time to go hit a party or the bar or whatever. We end at 9 o'clock on Friday night, to where it's a little later. And
I know a few bars around there.
A couple.
Some of the guests say they just want to go home and take a nap in their room, But no, not yet. And believe it or not, I mean, we are looking to see how things go this year. We've had lots of people ask, why isn't this a whole weekend? Why isn't this Saturday, Sunday? And as I said, I just come back to the thing of, I don't think it's ready for it.
Because it doesn't need to be yet.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. As I said, when it needs to be a full weekend, we will make it a full weekend.
Well, I mean, and that's smart. So, I mean, it's far, far better to get pulled into something than it is to try to push your way in, because that's usually where you wind up overextending.
Baby steps is the way to go. I've seen too many, business or even other comic shows just kind of fall to the wayside because they just too big, too quick, and they try to push it. And so we're just taking it slow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Anything we didn't hit?
I have something for you. They can't see what we're doing here, but can I hand out a little gift to you?
Absolutely.
All right, brought a little bag of tricks here. Now, we have an exclusive comic book cover for the show. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. You've been watching our page. Do you know who Mike Zeck is by any chance?
I know the name. I know I've heard it.
Does that issue cover look important? Or
Absolutely.
Okay, where have you seen that kind of pose, that setup? Do you know?
That was
Spider-Man. They did a Spider-Man comic back in the 80s.
Okay.
First appearance of Venom. And you had the black Spider-Man costume, Secret Wars #8. Well, we did, actually Mike Zeck did that
I wasn't even
cover.
thinking of that. I was thinking of G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. But the thing is, exclusive comic book. We got 3,000 of these. We're selling at the show. Mike Zeck is there, the one who drew the cover, so he can sign it for you.
Very
Jason
cool.
Moore, who inked it, can sign it for you. And Sergeant Slaughter's down here in the corner.
Nice.
So that's why I brought one for each of you guys.
Oh, you're the and with an
I will tell you though.
Authenticity.
Thank you.
There you go.
Very cool.
These aren't available to anyone until February 26th. So if they show up on eBay, I'll come looking for you guys. They can't do anything with it. Hang on to it.
Sell nothing.
But we've got an exclusive comic book at the show, which again is new for us. I know a lot of their shows have done this stuff, but we worked with our friends at IDW Publishing, who published G.I. Joe, and the comic book cover is actually the exact different characters. It's all G.I. Joe. So this is Snake Eyes instead of Spider-Man.
Right.
You've got the Joes.
That's what I was trying to think. Was it like the premiere of Snake Eyes? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure how much your comic book background was.
Right.
Just never know. But we had him, and Mike Zeck got on board with it. And as I said, he's coming to the show, and we call that like comic book royalty in a sense when you get people like that at the show. But he'll be happy to sign them. He'll charge you a little bit, but at least you can get that on there, and it's a nice investment piece and something you guys will see when you guys are there. And by the way, we should let people know that you guys will be at the show as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Did I tell you your table's right across from Sergeant Slaughter?
Can I?
Oh, boy.
I'm teasing. It's not. But
Boom. Can I turn off his mic?
Throw him out of here.
Can I do a quick nerd confession?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my first comic book ever.
Oh.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
There
This
you
is
go.
This is a big thing for me. I grew up in a really screwed up house where this stuff was like completely off limits. So this is my first comic book ever.
Well, that gets him this thing because I only brought one of these. So we got an official T-shirt.
Nice.
Comic-Con.
There you go.
That one.
Dude, I will rock the hell
Look at that.
Thank
There you
so
go.
much.
That I brought
That's awesome.
things. Yeah, hey, no problem.
Dude, I love it when our guests bring us things. We need to do this more often.
There you go.
Come back next week.
It's called greasing the wheels. You know, that way you'll bring me back or say nice things.
I think you're good at marketing. He's got exclusive stuff. It's like
look at
kind
that.
of a recipe
Doing
for
something right.
sounds
Good things to happen, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, even if we're not across from Sergeant Slaughter, we'll still probably
Actually, I got
be
you
across
close.
from
I got you
Sergeant Slaughter.
close.
No, I'll be sitting across
I'll
from
take
him
care of
anyway.
it.
He'll probably pull our.
Just don't make it so creepy that I got to restraining
Sarge.
order, keep you guys away.
Hey, Sarge. Hey, Sarge.
Hey, Sergeant Slaughter.
Hey, Sarge.
Hey, Sergeant Slaughter.
Remember that one time?
That was great. That's one of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
My wife laughs at me because, usually it's me picking these guys up from the airport. And it's something where, you kind of idolize these guys like sergeants.
Yeah.
And it is weird. You pick them up from the airport. Chris Claremont, for example, X-Men writer, and a lot of the movies that are out now are the storylines that he wrote, the Wolverine movies and the X-Men movies. Anyway, so pick him up from the airport. It's just me and him. What do I say to this guy? And so we're driving from Metro Airport, taking him out to dinner, and I'm in, he's right next to me. I'm like, do you remember that story you wrote, the one with Wolverine? He's like, yeah, that was great. That's exactly how I felt. 2 hours at dinner, this guy's probably rolling his eyes up going, who is this guy? Not knowing that I'm the promoter of the show.
Right.
Send some fanboy dipwad to pick me up from the airport.
What do you say to these people?
No, I had to pick up a pro wrestler who I was very familiar with from the airport, and it was the same thing. Like Puerto Rican, his dad was like the Hulk Hogan of Puerto Rican wrestling. This guy's like a legend in the business, and I don't know how we did it. We started talking horror movies. My buddy was in the car in fantasy football, and he did not stop talking about for like half an hour. Like, thank God.
Until he said, take me to Qdoba.
Yeah, I need Qdoba. Like, fine, I'll sign up Qdoba. Like, I don't know.
You got to be careful to keep your geek in because, he mentioned something at one time. And I was like, oh, yeah, issue 136. And he just kind of looked at me.
Oh.
Like I was a little too weird for him at that point. And I just,
Yeah, did you win a contest to be able to come pick me up?
So the point is, when Sarge is there, just kind of, play it cool and,
I'll fanboy out. I don't remember that one.
He'll never come back to the Great Lakes Comic Con after that.
No. Just say maggot. Just say maggot. Say it.
Exactly.
Just one time. Say it.
That one time when you faked that you were Arab so that everybody would hate you, teamed up with Iron Sheik. I won't do that.
Maybe yes, I will. All right, so it is GreatLakesComicCon.org. Go get your advance tickets. We will be there. Probably arranging things to happen afterwards, like we always do.
Indeed.
And Nuri has to wear the shirt.
Nuri got his first
shirt
comic
right now.
book.
He's like smelling. That's pretty cool.
That smells like comic books.
So seriously, thanks for coming out. We're looking forward to the end of the month. It should be a lot of fun. It is the last weekend of the month. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. So I think we're going to go ahead and hop into a break. You're trying to say something. Am I?
No. This is the ITintheD show, and we'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Ty Mogg, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
Welcome back, segment 4. This is the ITintheD show, in episode 129. We're broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. As always, this is Bob the Sales Guy, here with Captain Soundboard Dave the Geek. Nuri the FNG. I don't know if he's going to be the LOST tonight. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Like us on the Facebooks, follow us on the Twitters, and leave us a iTunes review, even if it's a bad one like we just read. But that's
It was still a good review.
It's
though.
okay, yeah. 5-star and improve on this, I'll take that all day long. But we appreciate it.
And don't forget, so we do have our event in 2 weeks on Thursday the 18th. We'll be out at Hamlin Corner in Royal Oak.
I like Hamlin Corner.
Yeah, and thanks to the Great Lakes Comic Con, we're going to have a couple of passes that we can give away there. So we'll have to come up with something creative that we need to make people do to get them.
Stupid human tricks.
We have a bunch, actually. Mike was cool enough.
So we can get a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Handstands, beer chugs, I don't know. Pick something.
Also, don't forget, we are the #1 rated technology podcast on SoundCloud.com.
Do we say that? Did we say that at the show? Did we?
We gave ourselves until tonight. So.
Right, exactly. Never hear it again. Sorry. Not sorry. We're proud. No, we're not. Yes, we are.
We'll hear it again.
Still have no idea how it happened, but we're good with it. We're going to roll with it.
Exactly. You guys are stupid, man. Use SoundCloud.
You know what? The one. So here's. This one kind of caught me because we've talked about this past season of South Park a lot. And there was the article that I shot you that said basically, has South Park finally gotten old? Like, have Matt and Trey like finally gotten to the point where they're everything that they used to make fun of? Because like this past season is like they're the old guys. You damn kids, get off my lawn, and you damn hipsters, and you damn, you know.
Is that why it's funny to us?
So I was like, so like when the person that posted it, I'm like, well, look, I'm like, personally, I've found it hilarious because I think the entire story arc, you know, with the exception of that weird anime episode that they had, basically tracked the evolution of Detroit over the past year. And I said, so maybe
to a T.
Oh, yeah, so I was like, so maybe that's but I'm like, and okay, maybe it's the fact that I'm, you know, they're our age, you know, and so maybe it is some of that you damn kid and, you know, get off my lawn and yet idiotic.
Imagine if you were a freaking tight jean hipster with a man bun with a scarf on,
watching
kale right now, watching South Park. You're like, hey, it's me. You know, it's kind of like no difference.
Yelp.
Right. It's kind of the difference in like, you know, the watching Nickelodeon and like I'm the dad on there. It's like I don't give a shit. Like I'm not old. Maybe I am. No, I'm not.
I'm the goofy dad now.
So they're poking right at that guy. Of course he's going to be mad.
There was an episode a couple years ago though where it was like Stan who basically said that everything.
You're getting
shit.
old.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like, you're getting older.
Music sounds like shit. The movies are shit. Everything just looks like shit. And why is this happening? And I thought that was like the point where maybe they were gonna break and stop doing it. I don't know. But last night I got really intoxicated and watched the episode Scott Tenorman Must Die, and about laughed my brains out there on the couch.
The chili, yeah.
I trained a horse to bite his wiener off.
Oh, your tears, they're so yummy.
No, the problem is like here I am a father. I got like an 11-year-old and 9-year-old. I'm like, I'm going to introduce him to like little bits of like Beavis and Butthead. I introduced him to Ren and Stimpy.
The first reaction video, Beavis and Butthead.
Is it? You're not allowed to do that, by the way. We'll talk about that in a minute. Stupid, fine brothers. But like, hey, Terrence and Phillip, fart jokes, funny.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like they just go off the deep end of their. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not.
No, you're not ready. No,
You're
I'm
not
not
ready.
ready for you to be ready for this yet.
No. But speaking of reaction videos, so this is one of the best, dumbest stories I've ever heard. So these guys make a living doing YouTube, right? And their whole thing is reaction videos, like
16 million subscribers, something crazy. They've got tons.
right,
and tons.
and you can watch it dive down to zero as we speak. But they want to trademark React or reaction videos and the like. So, like, if you say, like, hey, watch my friends react to me farting in their face, like, I can't do that because they own the copyright. Or watch my child watch Return of the Jedi for the first time, and when he says, Luke, I'm your father, you can't do that.
How?
Because they want to own the word react.
No.
That's what I said, no. But why? Where do they?
Because they're not the only ones doing it.
No.
They're not the only ones that have done it.
And it's like saying you can't make beer because I made beer.
Right.
You can't make car because I made car. It's like doesn't work. But you can't own a word.
When the trademark was for entertainment services providing ongoing series of programs and webisodes for the field of observing and interviewing various groups of people. That was what the trademark serial said. Which is like
awfully broad and generic.
Beavis and Butthead would sit there and watch MTV videos and be like, that video sucks. I mean, that is the first reaction video, I think.
Do they then own PewDiePie?
Oh, I guess you're reacting to a video game.
Who's reacting and commenting to somebody playing video games?
Wow.
Ah.
Well, apparently the trademark will be published for opposition starting tomorrow, February 2nd.
Prediction? Pain.
Thank you, Clubber Lang.
They posted on Reddit trying to explain their positions, and the comment was downvoted 6,000 times.
I've never seen anything up or down 6,000 times.
Bernie Sanders always gets more.
I had to get myself in there somehow. So,
Mike for the win. Son of a bitch.
We gotta watch Die Hard.
Hey, Fast and Furious. Hey. But like, again, what don't people like? I don't know. Like, you ever watch? There was a show Gordon Ramsay does, like the bar rescue, right?
Right.
And there was a woman like in Baltimore, like Hun, like, hey Hun, how you doing? It's like a Baltimore thing. And this woman like trademarked Hun, and like anyone that would say it, she would sue him, and like the town like backlashed.
Yeah, they went
And, like,
after her.
Oh, they went hard. Like
Ruined her.
she had to move. Like
Right.
but like, where do you think stopping? Like, don't they realize this has been done before? And people are going to hate you. You know, why don't you just be the best at reaction videos instead of stopping everyone else? Right? Coke, be the best pop. Don't stop Pepsi. Right? Stupid. People are idiots. I hate them all.
And what's great, there are a bunch of places popping up now on YouTube where you can live stream their subscriber count with music, and I've really enjoyed watching those too. So it's like
to Benny Hill,
a little count of like the number going down, and the music's kind of good. And I sat there and watched that for 4 hours.
Does it play the final countdown on loop?
I think we would be being intoxicated last night on the
No, we should start doing reaction videos every time before the show. Bob eats at Bangkok Cafe.
And we all have to sit near him and react.
Hashtag true story that happened tonight.
There we go.
And there it goes. Nice.
Real-time YouTube subscriber count, 13,886,000, and the number is still dropping down.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's tough because they're just watching the revenue just fall literally off the board.
Right, it's all based on numbers. Yeah. But with that many subscribers,
But it seemed
they're
like
making
stupidity at the time.
a killing with that many subscribers. Like I don't think people realize how much those guys make. I bet you they're in the $5 to $6 million range on money they're making.
Oh yeah,
with
dude!
that many
It broke our
subscribers.
heart when we found out that PewDiePie made $12.1 million last year. YouTube subscribers.
Nuts. Hashtag wrong business.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we're doing it wrong. So, hey, one of the stories we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks actually came to something of a happy ending this weekend. The NHL All-Star Game went on, and there's been that looming controversy about they opened it up to the fan vote. Fans on the internet did what fans on the internet do and immediately voted to the number one position, the person that would least likely make it to the All-Star Game. Not only did he get in, John Scott not only got in, he was the captain, scored a couple goals. And I love this part of it.
Now, I didn't see them. Were they cheap goals or were they?
No, they're
good goals.
They were pretty tight. The Detroit Red Wings Twitter account took great pride in tweeting out today that John Scott now has more goals in the NHL All-Star Game than Sidney Crosby.
Yay for the Red Wings for doing that.
But no,
Crosby hasn't scored in an All-Star. He's only scored.
He hasn't been in an All-Star game for quite some time because of either the Olympics or injuries. Yeah,
but he's not scored one. Oh my God, that's hilarious! I love that more than anything. It's
yeah. But yeah, so now good for him. There was all that controversy about getting sort of what was presumed to be the backroom deal that had him go from Phoenix to Montreal and then getting buried in the minors, and they finally caved. And I guess the article that I saw today said that Bettman walked up to him after the game and said basically, hey, I'm really glad you were here. Glad this worked out the way it did. And he said, he's like, well, I don't know if I really believe him, but we shook hands, we moved on, and off we go. So good for him for having it wrap up the way it did. Because, the NHL doesn't need any more nasty PR hits at this point. There's already few enough people watching.
I was listening to Valeni and Foster. They were saying that when they dropped from ESPN, they basically made themselves insanely irrelevant. Like, no one cares. I guess the All-Star Game was a fun watch, the 3-on-3 thing. I wouldn't know because I was binge watching Make a Murderer.
I think the best gift that I saw from that was Patrick Kane got insanely booed, and one of his best friends just started laughing at him on the ice. And it was all over Twitter for the next 2 days, is Patrick Kane just getting laughed at by his best friend on the middle of the ice.
What'd he do?
Apparently he did some really bad stuff in New York.
Oh. Good story, Matt.
Anyway.
I'm sure we'll hear about it tomorrow on the Detroit Sports Rag.
It's very Bill Cosby-esque. Let's just put it that way.
One of the funnier things we always like to talk about over a beer when we go out is like when we find out like who offered who what. and declined or said yes. And we found out, like, my employer offered a company $10 billion, and they said no. But it comes off the heels of when I was at HP, they bought Autonomy for $10 billion.
Right.
And they had to write off 9.8 of it or whatever within a year and a half. But now we're starting to find out all sorts of weird things about back in the day when, Blockbuster trying to buy Netflix for...
No, Netflix offered themselves up.
Oh, I thought it was backwards. Oh, so it was like what, 20, 30 million?
20 million.
Blockbuster could still be around today, basically.
I know. Think about
they were
that
the brand.
decline.
That was the quintessential brand.
Yeah,
think about that
the platform. Everyone already went to Blockbuster. So just talk about...
Hey, Sony and the MP3.
And then apparently, and then Google, this is my favorite because I was a late adopter to Facebook because I liked Friendster. Call me old man, I don't care, whatever. Google tried to buy Friendster. So think about this for a minute, how social, if Google would have bought Friendster for $30 million back then.
Would Facebook have happened?
Would Facebook have happened and or... like just the face of social, how would it have like changed? Because if you look at now Facebook buying Instagram, because Google's chain of events,
because Google's done nothing but fail at social since then.
Awful. Like they've been shit since then. They seriously, the Google's like they've tried so hard to be social, and they're just stop trying to make Google Plus happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh no, they're quietly erasing all traces of Google Plus from the internet. Have you seen that?
Google Glass, right?
Google Glass.
Google Glass
is gone.
So no more glass holes.
All the Twitter accounts are going away. All of the places you can find out information.
John,
disappearing.
My dream in life was to walk behind a guy, at a pretentious guy. He couldn't be just a normal human being at a coffee house, and just walk behind his ear.
Let's okay. That's okay. In a coffee house wearing Google Glass.
Yeah.
What are the odds they're not a pretentious asshole?
Fine.
Favorite. Scroll.
So I wanted to go. Image search diarrhea. Open 400 windows. Go. And just run. And so like his whole Google Glass is full of diarrhea pictures, and then I go hee and I run around the building. And that's all I wanted out of life.
And then record your reaction video.
A reaction. Right. You know what? We're doing reaction videos from now on. That's all there is to it. It's in stone. ITintheD React. Is there a .react? Can we make that happen?
Ooh, what is it? How do you make a new TLD?
I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's a lot. If they have
Switzerland, I think
they have dot clothing and dot toilet,
Ninja,
dot ninja. You can give me dot react, react.
Over dot react.
Over dot under. Oh no!
Speaking of weird things that could have gone out of business, but it's back. You guys hear Circuit City's coming back?
In a weird foxtrot.
In a weird way.
No, they're doing Radio Shack. Like they're opening up like 2,000 square feet,
little kiosks trying to appeal to the millennial crowd.
To Circuit City
because it's throwback. Is that why?
I remember.
There's still an empty Circuit City next to my house. You assholes, go fill it back up. It's where the Halloween USA comes for 3 weeks out of the year. Now it's vacant still. I got to see it every morning when I go to get gas at Meijer.
I think any kind of like opening a new large big box storefront for electronics is the worst business plan ever.
1,500 to 2,000 square feet, I think it's fine. Like remember, I keep talking about changing how the cars are sold in the modeling.
Right.
You need to have just a little small office, like a cafe, and like 5 cars in the lot, and that's it. And make it experience. Make it like you come in and have a sandwich and a coffee, and we talk about the car you order.
So Tesla.
Okay. Precisely. But if you think about that model, like electronics too, like the worst thing an electronics store can do is you walk in there and guy sees, ooh, I like that one, and the sales guy helps and he goes on Amazon and buys it.
Totally. It's a showroom, right? If you're targeting millennials know they're going to get a better price online and can get it 2 days on Amazon Prime.
But have you gone to Best Buy lately?
I have never. It's been years since I've been to Best Buy.
So Best Buy, they used to be like a thing for me. Like once a week I would go into Best Buy, not to buy, but just to see what they had. And it's completely 180 from what I remember Best Buy being. Mm-hmm. There's no more like rows and rows and rows and rows of music and DVDs. Those are all gone. It's like one row.
Now it's like 50% home automation.
Yeah, like appliances, home automation, like big Samsung area, like big laptop area, big phone area.
So it's like an ABC warehouse now, basically?
Without the guy yelling at you to buy shit.
No mattresses.
No, right.
Actually, I bought my last dishwasher from Best Buy, but I did it all through the .com. Didn't go into a store, so interesting though.
But like the home automation thing, but again, it's like I appreciate what they're doing because like I want to start getting the smart home crap. I don't know where to go and where to start. Like everything, like I get it from talking to you, and I get it from talking to Dave. Dave doesn't do any of it, so I talk to you. But you know what I mean? Like,
you start doing the Dex 10.
right, exactly. But I want some of that crap. I just ordered a couple of Wiimotes because it talks to my Echo. So now I can.
Wiimotes can talk to your Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
Dude, where have I been?
It's like the modern day clapper. It's like, you yell, Alexa, lights off. It's no different than, grandma going like that, turn the lights off. It's just now you pay $80 for two effing switches instead of,
$10 for a clapper.
$10 for a clapper. It probably would still work. I wonder if there's any clappers out there that still work. That would be awesome.
I'm sure they're on eBay. You can take a look.
Events occur in real time.
Yeah, exactly.
Clink, clink. All right, so hey, I think we're about at the end.
We're wrapping things up. This has been the fastest 2 hours in podcast history. Want to thank John and Matt for hanging out from Creative Breakthroughs. Everything that can be found out at cbihome.com. Cool Academy, office downtown.
Career Academy.
It's also a cool academy.
Should we mention Career Academy?
No.
No? Okay.
No, not yet. Next week.
Okay. Next week's going to be a little heavy.
Exactly. Why? Am I gaining weight again?
Leon's getting large.
We're going for Thai food before the show.
Yeah, go to Golden Corral for all of us.
Applebee's.
Mike, Great Lakes Comic Con, appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Awesome bringing the comics for us. That's insanely cool.
That's outstanding.
Super cool.
Can't wait to hang out with you over the weekend. Promise we won't pester you and or the Sarge too much.
Cool. Yeah,
Yes, asterisk.
Totally. Sarge.
I think I'd be disappointed if you didn't. So,
all right, fine. I'm going to dress in camo. We're going
to find you an outfit.
I told you, I shook hands with you at WrestleMania 5. Remember me? I was 12. Remember me?
I'm still trying to get Bob to go to a Comic-Con as dressed as Baymax. That's my goal. Got to get Bob drunk enough to show up as Baymax.
Yeah, but what happens if I got to poo? Then I can't.
You deflate yourself and then you go poo.
Right.
It's cool.
There's a guy dressed up like Hawkman. He's at the urinal next to me and he's like tickling my nose while he's peeing. Just
kids are all crying, Mom, what's Baymax doing?
Exactly. He's taking up 4 stalls, Mom. So this has been ITintheD show. Find us online, ITintheD.com. You don't got to go home. You got to get the hell out of here. See you guys next week. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run.
Run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny.
It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right. Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up. Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city. I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.